have found the Genesis frequency. This is Dr. Stephen J. Kazmina welcoming you in to another episode of a show that focuses on your whole life prosperity and success. Whole life prosperity and success by cooperating with the universal laws that are available to each and every one of us. This is Quantum Leap Goal Achievement, radical personal transformation, whole life prosperity and success. Now, stay tuned for another exciting episode that'll move the needle in your life from where you are now to where you want to be. And welcome in, everyone. This is Dr. Cause and Effect, Dr. Stephen J. Kazmina coming at you with another episode of the Genesis frequency here, all about your personal and professional development. This is about taking it to the next level. There's no doubt about that. And this is for individuals, small businesses, and corporations. I reiterate that each and every episode because no matter what I sound like I'm speaking to, it applies to the individual, the small business owner, and the corporation. Especially the last few episodes I did about eliminating habits that are not serving the greater good of yourself or your organization and replacing them with habits that are in alignment, are in harmony with what you want to experience in your life or in your company. Today, I want to take it really to another level, talking about what happens when we make that change. Now, remember, you need to keep working with these habits, this find and replace, this search and destroy, if you will, right? We search and destroy the old habits that are inefficient, that are non productive, that are not serving us, that are not supporting goal achievement, and we replace them with habits that are productive, that are efficient, that do support what we want to experience in our lives and in our businesses and as a culture in our corporate environment, right? And something that plays into all of this here, and it plays into everything. That's why I named the show the Genesis frequency, is the vibration, the frequency, the level that you're operating on. Remember, the model is always be, do, and have. No matter what anybody calls it, it's always be, do, and have. And the being is the frequency, is a contributor to the frequency. What are you being? So we shift the habits. Go back and listen to the last few shows. Listen to all of them. They're good. I think so. I know I'm a little prejudiced and biased, but listen to them. Take what you will. Normally this is something that would be very expensive one on one, from a lot of other people out there. But you're getting some good information here. But you know what? You really can't do it all by yourself. You really should have an accountability partner, a specialist, somebody like me that does this for a living and has been doing it for years and years. But let's talk about that vibration. And yes, I can help you with this. I can help you with vibration and frequency. People really find this kind of a stumbling block, but it's not complicated. I think people make it more complicated than it really is because we're often not given instruction, right? I've read a lot of books. That's where I was. I would hear things by Wayne Dyer and Deepak and a lot of other authors out there, and boy, metaphysical authors, subconscious mind authors, and it would always be, well, everything is a vibration, and it is. And we know this. And spirituality and science, they meet and agree on this. And I would always read things that said, match the vibration of what you want, and the thing you want is yours. Okay. And so you go to the next paragraph for those instructions, and they're not there. So this would always frustrate me. Match the vibration. Okay, how do I do that? Start shaking. I'd start or moving my arms around that. That's not really what we're talking about here. There is a metaphysical definition for vibration that was coined over 100 years ago, thousands of years ago, really. Metaphysically, vibration is the rate at which all forces move. It's one of the greatest discoveries of all ages. And physical science, again, supports this as well. All things have their source and their being in vibration. Everything is moving. We live in an ocean of motion, this energy. We go back and keep going back and keep going back. Well, what is the cause of that? What is the source, right? So everything's vibrating. Everything, since it's vibrating, it has its frequency. The frequency is the vibration rate, right? So everything is moving. Even what appears to our senses as being still is vibrating. It's just the frequency is at a different level. So to our human senses, it appears solid or still. And go back of that, thoughts have vibration. Remember, thoughts are things. But the origin of all this is mind. And think uppercase M for mind, think uppercase S for source. Back of all this is mind, infinite intelligence, if you will. So let's talk about that vibration and frequency and matching that when it comes to what we want to experience in our lives. And again, this is for you as an individual. Say you're working on something financially, time and money, freedom, health and physical fitness, a loving relationship, whether it's a family, significant other. Usually a lot of people I work with, it'll fall into those categories. Or your small business, you want to take it to the next level. Maybe you're at $5 million a year, you want to hit 10. Maybe you're at 10, you want to hit 20. Maybe you're at 20 and you're looking for 50. Maybe you're at 50, how do I get to $100 million a year? Maybe you're in a corporate environment and you have some corporate goals that perhaps have been elusive. Or you look around, there's a lot of buzz about culture, and your culture, there's none here. So many will talk about it and it's just non-existent. Well, culture ties into the vibration, right? I've been with a lot of companies, working with a lot of companies where, hey, this is how we've always done it. This is the way we're going to continue to do it. It's very closed minded. And that creates a culture, that creates a frequency and a vibration. Because why? Because it's originating in mind. Maybe the human mind here. We got to go back of that. What is bigger? What is greater? What is in alignment with the corporate goals? What is alignment with the objectives of the small business owner? What is the dream of the individual? That's where we have to get to. Now, listen, we can look at a lot of different examples, and that's one of the things I do when I'm looking to how I can communicate this information through my show, through keynotes, through workshops, through talking to people, through doing the discovery calls. Don't forget, you get a free call with me as a listener to the show. Just say, hey, I listened to the show and I'd like to talk to you about what I'd like to achieve in my life. I'm a specialist in helping people improve performance and productivity. Anyway, when we look at frequency, here's one thing, because I see this as a really stumbling point for people, and I see a lot of things out there. Neville is getting popular again. I'm talking about Neville Goddard and feeling is the secret and the law of assumption. There's a lot of the law of attraction sites that are really popular, but you still have to go back to what precedes that. And vibration and frequency is one of the things that precedes what we attract into our lives. We can assume and should assume the state of the desire fulfilled. Okay, that's a given. But what is this frequency thing? What is this vibration thing? Let's look at You can look at it a couple different ways. You can take a sheet of paper, like loose leaf paper, or in a notebook with lined paper, and look at all those lines and let those lines represent different frequencies. Or the staff of in a piece of music, the lines represent the frequency of the note, right? E, G, B, D, F are the lines. The spaces are F, A, C, E. and we could keep going up. We see the lines, but there's music written that the notes, the vibration, are above the five lines in the staff that we see. That can get kind of complicated. So I like to use the ladder or a staircase. And let's say the objective is the penthouse. You want to live in the penthouse. Now, let the penthouse represent your desire. Let it represent the corporate goal. Let it represent the objective of the small business owner. Let it represent the corporate culture, what the business owner wants next, you as an individual or an entrepreneur, what do you want to achieve? Or for the individual, whatever your goal or dream is, let that penthouse level represent that for you. Now, usually a penthouse is at the very top, right? And we see ourselves achieving our goals, wishes, dreams, desires, and aspiration. That'll put us on the top, right? I don't think we have wishes, dreams, and desires of, hey, I want to be last. I want to be on the bottom, man. That just, it's not how we operate, right? We want more. We want to experience more. We want to experience the good life, right? So we have a staircase, or let's just picture in this case, so let's say it's a, oh, I don't know. Let's just pick a number. Let's pick a number, a 73-story building, and we there's a ladder on the outside, okay? And each rung of the ladder is a frequency. So here's what I see happen frequently, or it could be the staircase, whatever is easier for you to visualize. Each step or each rung of the ladder is a frequency. And each step has to be taken, each rung of the ladder has to be utilized in order to move to the penthouse. But if you stop at any rung of the ladder that is not the penthouse, between where you start and the destination, and you look around and you take in the input from the senses, you can get wrapped up in that. Okay, and that's what I'm talking about when I see things on social media or I talk with individuals. Yeah, I listened to your show. I read all the books too. I tried the law of assumption. I tried the law of attraction. I tried this. I tried. Well, laws are laws. They're always working. It's just your level of cooperation with them. But let's just say you're standing on the rung of the ladder or you're standing on the step and you're between the fifth and the seventh floor somewhere, maybe stuck on the sixth floor, and you're just looking around and you're taking in. Well, it was my impression that if I kept taking a step, if going to the next one, that I would move into the realization of my dream. I would establish the corporate culture. I would achieve the corporate objectives and goals. I would grow my small business. I would have the relationship, the health, the physical fitness, the time and money freedom as an individual. But we stop and we look around and we say, I'm doing everything. I'm not there. This isn't the penthouse. But we're only between the fifth, sixth, or seventh floor. And we stop and we say that isn't working. But you can look back, right? You don't want to look back too much, but you can say, yeah, I'm up higher than where I was. But each step of the ladder, each step of the staircase has been a frequency that has moved you closer. I also like to compare it to the dial on a radio. Now, those of you that are very, very young listening to this, so you might not know what a dial on a radio is, except there's probably some still on cars and things like that. But if we were listening to a certain radio station, let's use the news talk networks, for instance, it's an all talk radio show, and we really want to listen to perhaps smooth jazz or classical, we would have to turn the dial on the radio. Now you press a button or you speak it in, I get it. But we would have to change the frequency. No matter how bad we wanted to hear classical music, smooth jazz, we have to adjust the frequency. If we stay where we are on the dial, we're going to hear news talk, right? We're going to hear the variety of news and talking heads and all that on the radio. Nothing will change. Same thing with the ladder or the staircase. If we stay in that place, we're not going to see or experience what we want to experience, having achieved or attained the level of the penthouse. So, what do? We stay not living from the appearances of the world around us. We stay in the emotional state of living in the penthouse, at the penthouse level. So all along your way, you're curious about that. You eliminate the words when I get there, I will this, or if I was living at the penthouse, I would. That puts it at a time in the future that doesn't exist. You have to move it into the present tense. So every statement, to be in alignment, to move your vibration inwardly to where you want to be, they have to be statements of I am, because what we're doing is we're giving information to the subconscious mind saying, this is the reality now. Remember, the subconscious mind has no ability to reject what you give it. And when it's wrapped in feeling and emotion, it moves to the top of the list. The subconscious mind is the executive department that goes into motion. It creates the vibration your body is in, so you take actions that are in alignment with this new thought, with this idea, with this dream, with this fantasy, with this desire. So we're feeding this wrapped in emotion, this penthouse level, to our subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind creates the vibration the body is in. The body takes action. We see a reaction the from the vibrational soup, the energy that we're all immersed in, from the universe, if you will. We see a reaction to our action. That reaction part, by the way, is what you could call the law of attraction, because we take action and there is a reaction that is supportive, that moves in people, ideas, circumstances, events that are supportive of the quote unquote penthouse level living life that we would love to live. So I'm trying to be real basic here, but I'm trying to give your mind a picture, since we all think in pictures of how this is working. So can you see where you could possibly be stuck a little bit? You're going up, you're up it's a 73-story building. You're on the rung of the ladder. You're at the 50th floor, and people do this all the people get to the 69th, 70th floor, and their objective is 73, and say, I'm going to give up. I'm staying in the state. See, but every time you do that, say it's not here, or you let outward appearances suggest otherwise, you're dropping your frequency, your emotional state. Your emotional state degrades, right? So you might as well just take 5 steps. Sometimes we take 5 steps down. We retreat 5, 6, 7, 10, 20 steps backwards on the ladder. And that's what most people do. That's why you need someone that can help you with this. So that someone can be an observer that's impartial, that say, listen, you're moving out of the emotional state necessary that matches the vibration and the frequency of the penthouse. So that's a basic, simple way and explanation that I articulate for you to get a picture of this. You have to remain in the present moment. If you move to the past too much, you're looking constantly in the rear view mirror, beating yourself up. Some of the things we talked about in the last couple episodes, if you're going backwards, you can slip further down the rung of the ladder because you're going to move into an emotional state of perhaps depression. There's a potential for that to happen. If you are saying things like, I would, when and I can, rather than being fully present in the moment, you're putting things in a future that doesn't exist, that the subconscious mind says, I don't have to do anything now because that's in a point in time that doesn't exist to me because the subconscious mind only exists in the right here and right now. And so that can even lead to worry, doubt, and fear and anxiety. So we don't want to go that way. We have to stay present. One of the ways you can stay present is to develop the attitude of curiosity. I'm so happy and grateful. I am now at the penthouse level in my life. I'm curious what, and then fill in from there. I'm curious about these feelings that are being experienced by my customers as they experience the new corporate culture that is being established here and now. And just be curious about the things that you can add in there. Then you're cooperating with the law of specificity, which is still supportive of everything that you would like to create. I am just about out of time. I love doing this stuff. I love working and finding different ways to illustrate this for you because we do think in pictures. And they keep coming to me, and as they come to me, I love to share them with you. I encourage you to reach out. Let's have a conversation because let's think about those pictures for a moment. You're on the ladder, you're on the staircase, but let's face it, we all want the penthouse as quickly as we can. You talk to me, you talk to me, and that would be the equivalent of getting in the elevator. All right? That's why I talk about quantum leap goal achievement, radical personal radical personal transformation, right? Get in the elevator. We bypass the staircase. We bypass the ladder. I hold your hand, whether it's in your company, your small business, your corporation, or you as an individual. We get in the elevator. It's all glass. Yes, we're taking the journey along the way together. And it's a smoother ride, and you get there much quicker. So let's have a conversation. Successappointment.com. All one word, successappointment.com. Not a website, not a sales page. It will get you on my calendar. Find a time that works for you, and let's have a conversation of where you want to go. If you want to step into the wonderful world of being an entrepreneur in the personal and professional development, leadership development industry, go to successocean.biz, B-I-Z, successocean.biz. The website for the show is thegenesisfrequency.com for corporate training, workshops, speaking engagements, keynote speaking, featured presentations, speaking, training. Go to successocean.com. And recently added a division partnering with Kevin Harrington and his team and his son Shark marketing. Oh my gosh, this talk about taking it to the next level. Go to shark.successocean.com. Let me know what you're working on. There's a little bit about me in there, and we can put this marketing machine, Kevin Harrington, the original shark from the runaway smash hit, The Shark Tank, going to work for you. I'm working with Kevin's team, and we can get you plugged in. Even get you on TV. How's that? So that's going to do it for now. Hey, you've been listening to the Genesis Frequency. Quantum Leap Goal Achievement, radical personal and professional transformation, leadership development, culture implementation, achieving all that you want to achieve and experience in your life, the life you would love to live for you as an individual, a small business owner, or in your corporate environment. That's what this show is all about. Please share it with somebody, comment, reach out to me, let's talk. For now, this is Dr. Cause and Effect, Dr. Stephen J. Kosmina, and I wish for you an infinitely spectacular day. God bless you.